Welcome back, everyone. Well, time flies. It is time for the final session of this year's Tokyo Forum. We will review what we've learned over the past 2 days with 4 participants from the youth session. President FUJII of the University of Tokyo will join them, and our moderator is AOKI Naomi, Associate Professor of the Graduate School of Public Policy at the University of Tokyo. So, Professor Aoki, over to you now.
Thank you, Ms. Yamamoto. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the wrap-up session. So this session is unlike the others in that we have President FUJII of the University of Tokyo here, together with 4 brilliant students who participated in the youth session earlier. They have been invited to this session in hopes that these 2 generations of leaders have dialogues to brighten our future, which is the meaning behind the session title, Dialogues for Tomorrow. So thank you, President, for being here, and thank you, students, for joining this session. So let me introduce each one of you to everybody in the audience. So ladies and gentlemen, from your left to right, Mr. Bae Woo-jin, a 30-year college student from the Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering of Seoul National University. And Ms. Shin Jin, a second-year student from the Graduate School of Interdisciplinary Information Studies of the University of Tokyo. And Ms. Kim Si-yeon, a 4th-year college student from the Department of Chinese Language and Literature of Hanyang University. And Ms. Kai Satomi, a 3rd-year student from the College of Arts and Science of the University of Tokyo. So Woo-jin, Shin, and Si-yeon, and Satomi, I've heard that to prepare for the youth session, you closely worked with students from the University of Tokyo and University in South Korea, and you also worked with students from different academic backgrounds. And so in this sense, you have experienced the essence of the design process, and which is to engage in people from different background and with different perspectives to address better address a societal issue. And in your case, you address the issue of declining birth rate, which is not easy. So congratulations on finally finishing your presentations. So did you have good time in this process? Yes? Did you all have a good time? Yes? Okay, great. And so how about sharing some brief comments on your experience with this process? Just for ice-breaking, before we proceed to the students-president dialogue. So Woo-jin, let me start with you. What did you enjoy the most in the process?
First of all, it's a truly honor for me to engage in this fabulous forum, and there was so many sessions that how can we make our future more better, shaping our future, and so through observing various aspects of sessions, I could feel that immense effort of the association has put into shaping this better future. But as an engineering student, my favorite session was the session that held by Professor Matsuo, who was talking about how can AI can make our future better and applying them in various industry sections. Also, because engineering can apply in the many business sections, I thought that business leader session was really great, specifically SPC and incentive systems that President Che mentioned.
Excellent. Thank you, Woo-jin. What about you, Shin? Were there any eye-opening moments during the process?
Thank you so much for the question. All the sessions are equally engaging for me. I'm learning a lot. What was really eye-opening was this observation of how those speakers behave on stage. because like they are definitely my role models, and I definitely look up to them, and I want to observe how they can behave so naturally on stage. And I realized if they're giving a seat, some of them are sitting like this, some of them are sitting like this. While me, I will probably never feel natural, sitting like this. So yeah, this is probably my default setting position. And I realized the reason why I feel unnatural, like sitting that way, like the most dramatic way, is because of my upbringing. And I also think this kind of seating position is also gender coded. It's also coded about a lot of like cultural factors. So I feel that throughout this process, like the fact that there are some people out there who are like really okay with delivering like wonderful speeches in this way, it's definitely also like kind of creating their identities throughout this process. And I think power is created throughout this process, and a lot of probably at sometimes like barriers to certain other groups are also created throughout this process. So yeah, I just found this like a really eye-opening experience to observe how people behave on stage. So go back to my normal stage. And thank you so much.
Excellent. That's a wonderful observation. Thank you. And what about you, Si-young? What did you find interesting?
I'm going to talk about workshop, meeting with the vice chairperson of the Presidential Committee on Aging Society and Population Policy was truly impressive for me, because I was really amazed to get there to the institution and have an experience covered by the media. And after that, I was approached by the Hanguk Research, which is an institute, which is a firm that have public opinion research. So regarding the participation in the Tokyo Forum, the organization was seeking for young individuals to talk about this low birth rate. And I was honored to be appointed as a university representative. As a representative, I could talk about the low birth rate and represent the young generation's voice. So I realized from this opportunity, the opportunity once can also lead to another one. All the forums that I attended, especially the Tokyo Forum, I realized there are so many people who are interested in the low birth rate issue. It was the most interesting part for me.
Thank you, Si-young. What about you, Satomi? What did you learn the most?
Okay, thank you for asking. So I'll quickly mention the collaborative process of youth session. First of all, I usually really enjoy cross-cultural exchanges, and specifically about this forum, around the forum, youth session, the main theme was decreasing birth rate, as other members mentioned. So since this is our problem, I mean the problem which is really important for the next generation, like us. So the importance, the sense of ownership of this problem, strongly connected us. So, and also about the international cooperation between South Korea and Japan. Obviously, the two countries are really close to each other, I mean culturally or geographically wise, obviously. But through the collaborative process, I found so many differences at the same time. So yeah, sometimes we experience the hard time to overcome or accept our differences. But I think just looking back, everything is a really every moment was really fruitful for me.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Satomi. Thank you all for all the sharing. It's so good to hear that you had good experience and good takeaway from the process. Now are you ready to ask a question to President FUJII? Yes? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we will proceed to first ask students to pose their questions to President FUJII first, and then later we will take questions from President FUJII to the students. So Woojin, let's start with you and have you ask 2 questions, and the President will respond to each, and then we will move on to Shin, and then let's follow that pattern. So Woojin, please.
I searched internet web that President FUJII got his bachelorship regarding engineering. So I have one question that how did you make a transition of your role from research-based career to the a leadership role, like a university president? Is there any motivation or perspective that you've been a university president?
Oh, yes. So I can answer already? Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
okay, one by
Let's
one.
do one by
Okay.
one. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Well, thanks for the a very interesting question. And in fact, I was a researcher in the field of, at the beginning, naval architecture and especially underwater robotics, but then microfluidics at the end. And so my view as a researcher at the beginning, how to find out or how to build up the better research environment for myself, right? And then as a professor, I have also a group, research group, and then consisting of kind of many students. So that for that, I also would like to prepare the better research environment for the students. And at the end, talking to the managers or administrators of the university about how we could make it better. And then at the end, they themselves, asked me to do it by myself. And that is the way, how I could, I became a director of one institute, which is called Institute of Industrial Science. And then I moved into the headquarters after that. So like this way, I basically, naturally, I wanted to make the place as a research site better. So that still, I would like to make our university a better place for research. So, and of course, education too. So.
And your second question?
Yeah.
Thank you for replying. And the second question is that in today's world, the world is changing really fast, and there's so many information and opportunity abound. So just relying solely on the traditional education, such as just studying one majors, seems it's like inefficient for the undergraduate students. So is there any recommendation that you can give to the students that what can we do, or what kinds of experience during university life can help for us to, for students, broadening their horizons and broadening their insights?
Yes. So yes, I agree. So it's so the things that you can learn in the classrooms are like somewhat limited in the kind of like you could learn about all these knowledges, but you cannot get any experience, right, on site. So for that, I would recommend all the students, also for the University of Tokyo, to have some hands-on activities or like having some internship opportunities in the companies and so on. So that it's so important to learn from experience, so that you could find out that you have what you have learned in the classrooms can be really used for the specific situation, or you will need to learn some other things to deal with all of those things that you need to do in such kind of situation. So,
thank you for your glorious reply.
Yeah.
So FUJII is also interested in knowing how to expand one subject boundary to study other subject. Is that what you want to also ask?
Yes.
Yes. So, President, would you like to respond?
Right. Okay. So then, if you see this real-world problem, is always so cannot be solved only by one expertise. So it involves multiple domain of it requires multiple domain of knowledge to solve it. So like this way, you will find out what kind of the knowledge that you will need to learn afterwards. So like this way, you could broaden your of course interest and curiosity, but at the same time the kind of things that you will need to learn to solve specific problems. So that to be exposed in to such kind of real world problem is so important.
Thank you, President FUJII. What about you, Shin?
Thank you so much, President FUJII. Yeah, my first question is somehow related to Ujing's second question. You know, growing up from the early 2000s, I thought the world is really gonna become like a village. Everyone's gonna be more and more connected. I had the hope back then, but the world is not necessarily becoming really a better place. You know, there are wars outside our like auditoriums right now, and then there are all kinds of like environmental degradations. There are all kinds of like social cleavages, like that's also covered in our like, group discussion. So I wonder, in light of those deepening social cleavages and also the criticism that, you know, like we as students, what we do in the academia is getting more and more like distanced from the general public, from, you know, really solving questions. What would you suggest us to do, you know, to take this, like the step forward and then bridge all those gaps, misunderstandings, and lack of, you know, collaboration?
Yes, so it's very much related to the previous question. So I would suggest you to also reach out to the outside the university, and also university itself is doing many collaborations with industry, and then industry what we share the problems that industry has, and we share those problems, and then together we basically would like to solve, and then this problem itself also is very much, connected to the real world, right? So then that is, those problems are inherently like a multidisciplinary problems, so that you will also see what will be the real issues in the world or in the society by participating in such kind of projects. So that hope you could find the opportunity to participate in such kind of project throughout the university. So,
Thank you so much.
Right.
And my second question is, I know, Professor FUJII, you are really like determined in implementing a lot of, you know, like initiatives on campus that fosters gender equality, which I really appreciate. And you now do see a lot of, you know, previously all men or like very male-dominated labs to have like to welcome more female students. However, like recently, it's like also real-life stories from some of my female friends that they have received really insensitive remarks, exclusionary remarks from their male colleagues when they're, you know, working at the lab and everything. So I wonder, like, aside from, you know, just increasing the number of, you know, female faculty members and female students, what should the university do, like, additionally, you know, as the accompanying policies and initiatives to safeguard the safety and, you know, the dignity of life of female faculty members and students on campus? And if there are such initiatives already, then how can we make it more impactful to reach more people out there who probably need more awareness and need more education?
I see. Yes, yes. I'm sort of promoting a lot about this diversity, equity, inclusion. But still there's such kind of situation happened. So, and which is not so really. It's a pity to listen to such kind of thing. And so increasing the female students or female researchers are really important. But at the same time, we really need to kind of build up, create a kind of welcoming environment for that. And otherwise, it is not, it won't be achieved naturally. So that we really need to push that way. So for that purpose, we are, for example, running some sort of seminar series for the university faculty members and also the staff members and so on. But also, we also should have some more contents for the students too, for this training program. And as we also listened to yesterday in the gender innovation session, so there's more and more also programs that will be embedded in the research system and also education system, so that we really want to improve the situation by having those kind of programs more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Shin and President FUJII. And Si-yeon?
As AI continues to shape our world, the definition of success needs to be redefined in light of those changes. So in this increasingly interconnected and AI-driven society, what qualities and attributes do you believe individuals should do in order to kind of succeed in our future society?
I see. That's a big question. And in fact, I think there are two things that we need to see. So first of all, so we cannot avoid the society without AI, right? So the future society should be somewhat with AI. So that we will need to see how this, or how we could, live in such kind of society with AI. And then for that, we will at least need to learn about what AI can do or how AI can work. So it's depending on the level that you will need, but at least we will need to understand what is it. And that is one thing. And then another thing is for the more related to the learning. So AI can bring, so the generative AI can bring about so many different knowledges to you, right, already. And so, but this is kind of existing knowledge, but you will need to use such kind of knowledge, and then you will need to integrate such kind of knowledge to be able to do something else or something that you want to do. And in that case, so you really need to have some experience. As already discussed, it's so, if the AI will be more and more used in the society or in the world, you will need to also learn from experience itself, because all these practical experience cannot be learned or cannot be replaced by AI. So those are the two important things that we need to think for now. Yes.
And my second question is, I'm aware of your research on foundational microfluidic technologies. As a humanities major, given the growing importance of disciplinary studies, I'm wondering about the scientific literacy that humanities should develop. And so in your view, what specific knowledge or wisdom do you think humanities students should know in order to develop in our society?
I see. So my thought is the important thing is the openness to the things that you are facing. And so as just in the previous session, the discussion was also on the humanities, engineering, science is a kind of artificially, divided into the disciplines. But it is all about something, that we are facing. So you just need to open your eyes to learn what you like to know. So that is a very important, sort of attitude to, and then to know something, then you will also need to talk to someone or talk to the people. So that with such kind of, exchange of the knowledge or that what we mean, that is what we mean by dialogue. But having those dialogues will be, enriching your, knowledge itself. So that like even a disciplinary knowledge. So that once we are, for example, facing this COVID-19, then we get vaccinated, right? So then, so you want to understand what is the mRNA vaccine, and then so you could basically, get to know that what is the mRNA, and then from mRNA you could also you may be able to learn about all this biology thing. So, like this way, it's kind of quite important thing to, to have openness to, many things.
Thank you so much. I've learned a lot.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Sian. And Satomi?
Okay, so both of my questions would be related to like University of Tokyo and also maybe the library experience of President FUJII. My first question is like I've heard that like you graduate from like this university, like UTokyo, obviously. So like and about the characteristic, about the mindset of UTokyo student. Like these days, I've heard so many remarks that in the past, like many UTokyo students went to be a bureaucrat like after graduation, but like they changed mind and like they want to get a job in the more kind of well-paid field, like consulting and finance. And like, I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, it's totally a personal choice, but the kind of awareness to the social contribution is kind of getting like changed. So I'd like to ask like how different or like how changed or what is the same like between the kind of time where you are in the university and now.
I see. That's. I think that is the difference is very much related to the difference in society, especially the Japan society. And at my time, it was a kind of really just before or almost like a bubble economy era. So that everybody is, looking into the future. It's a kind of brighter future. Naturally, and that is one thing. And then it is also in the process of, still in the process of economic growth, the very fast growth after World War II. And so in such kind of situation, all these, job market and also the career of the people itself, it's very much sort of depending on the supply side. So that the big companies or big, government is they are basically, welcoming, accepting people to work. But now, so it's not really a kind of growing. So far, not so fast. The growth is really, really, slow or almost even. So, and also in the 21st century, I believe that everybody is looking at your own career as your own thing, right? So it's not you don't want to rely on the big company, and then even if you enter or join the big company, but you don't, work in that company at the end of for example, at the age of 60 or 65. So that is a kind of common, feeling of the current generation, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think
so that's a kind of big difference over people. So such kind of difference is, reflecting over this phenomena on this, not so many students are becoming bureaucrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like it's
you agree?
Yeah, closely connected to the social situation as well.
Yeah, right.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is a little bit like maybe like overlaps with the first one, but like I'd like to ask that what kind of role university has like for the student career choice? Because like I'm currently working on the alumni community of University of Tokyo, and like as far as I know, like students these days, like students like usually like in arts major like really rush to like find their careers like without not enough information. So like I think I wish is there because the university itself is the social hub like between like so many like social stakeholders like as this Tokyo Forum like featured. So like I wish we had more like kind of an activated alumni community, because like there are so many like graduate students from University of Tokyo like who are like engaged in so many fields of Japan or internationally. So what do you think, like what university can do like kind of to activate like alumni community, or like to give students a better perspective of career?
I see. That's a very important question. So we really would like to think about such kind of, or promote such kind of role of the university. And that means that we also will need to have some ways to connect the alumni people and current students. And so we hope to be able to, use some digital tools, for example, to make some connections. And then you could, for example, if you could reach out to some of the alumni that who's working in the company that you want to know, then and then if you can reach out to this person, it's really, useful, right? So for your career planning. So that like this way, the university should take such kind of role to engage these alumni into some career sort of not direct guidance, but career opportunity for the current students. So that yes. So there's a kind of many activities around alumni association, but we really need to find a way to do such kind of thing in a systemic way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any follow-up question from student side in response to what President FUJII said? No? Okay. All right. So let me turn to President FUJII to ask a question to the students. President, could you please ask?
Yes. So for all of you, so today I listened to your presentation in the youth session. It was really nice plan presented, 5 plans, right? 5 groups, and then so you made this plan. So this is, I think this is all about design process. So you experience the, design process for the whole plans. So that through this design process. So 2 things. I'd like to ask, what is the kind of major discovery through this process, if you have? So that you find out. And also, what is the kind of choking point, or what was the kind of most, difficult point when you make this plan?
Okay, so let me go the other way around this time. So starting from Satomi. Satomi, what have you got? Would you like to respond to President FUJII's question?
Can I ask the first question one more time?
Okay, what you have found, or major finding?
A major finding and difficulties.
Through this process.
Yes. So major findings. Maybe like these 2 might be similar. So major finding. Can I start with difficulties? Because the difficulty is maybe I think other members might think the same thing, but for me the major difficulty was a language barrier, obviously, because we are a non-native speaker, and also speaking English, expressing opinions in English itself is really challenging, and also the problem we tackle is really heavy and tough, because the whole country have been working on this problem and have for now no measures to solve it critically. So tackling the problem in the second language is really hard, and sometimes we misunderstood each other, or couldn't reach a conclusion including everyone's opinion equally. So for me it was a really tough point.
So that's so at the same time it's your finding, right?
Yeah.
It seems.
Yeah, right. Major finding.
Yeah, but if you have any other.
Can I talk after?
Yeah. But just the quick response. But it's really, so you feel the communication and making consensus in with a language barrier was a sort of very difficult but important point.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's really fun process.
Okay,
like, so,
I see.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So to me, do you think that that's only the language issue or something else? You know, like when we talk about cross-cultural communication, I would imagine that it's not only about language, but it's also about understanding culture and people's different behavior and so on. Did you find something other than language that prevented you from working together with others?
That's a really great point, because like even though we have so many things in common, like because like we are in the same East Asia and have like, as I mentioned before, like similar cultural backgrounds, but sometimes like we basically like communicate on like online, of course, because we cannot meet each other. So like we basically like text each other or like Zoom, but we cannot like kind of find like tell the like subtle nuance, delicate nuance, or like if just we like text in our second language. So like sometimes like aside from understanding, but the expression might be too straight, and like some people are kind of might be offended, or this kind of like not about only about the contents, but also like emotional bond as wise. Like sometimes I found a difficulty, but like and I found that sometimes like if I found this really important if I talk really like straight or like in a strong way, like I told my feeling, like if I was wrong, I'm sorry, kind of like this kind of straight or direct communication to apologize or thank you is really important.
Thank you. And Si-young, would you like to address President FUJII's question?
Okay, I would like to talk about the major findings. We talked about the low birth rate. After that, I knew that there are so many reasons for the low birth rate, like such as work, financial and social and education and etc. It was really surprising for me to know that all these complex things are connected. And so in order to solve the low birth rate, we have to solve all of these things. It was really complex for us to get a great idea of our project. It will be same with the difficult one, because we had to find something that's really practical and also like realistic and really, what can I say, innovative thoughts. We had so much things to say about, and it was difficult to narrow it down into just one thing, as the UTokyo talked about. We was so kind of sad to just say it within 10 minutes, because we talked a lot about this program. And after Satomi talked that we had kind of a language barrier, I agree with her. But the fun thing is that the major finding is that since we have a cultural common, the words such as like 가방 and also 삼각관계, I knew that these two words are same in Korea and also in Japan. We are really interesting to find these common things, and we talked a lot about these things. It was really interesting.
Thank you so much.
And Shin?
Yeah, I can answer the question of major discovery and shocking point probably together, because they're actually the same. I think the major discovery, probably even before we start the project, is like this understanding that accessibility and availability are like two things. So like when we first kicked off this project, started brainstorming, we actually got frustrated quite quickly, because maybe many of us, when hearing that the youth sessions theme is going to be birth rate, and everyone's like, birth rate again, gender issues again. Yeah, it's always so easy to become very cliche with what we present to the stage and the kind of solutions we come up with. And yeah, we struggled a lot because sometimes we're just overwhelmed with all kinds of like population studies data and all kinds of existing policies, which was shocking to us. Actually, there are so many initiatives out there that do want to tackle birth rate issue, do allocate compensation, provide like care support and everything, but they're available. They're not. That doesn't mean they're already like accessible. So then that's what motivated us to move on and think of how can we bridge those gaps between the availability and accessibility, which I think like all 5 groups really did a super good job today. And also, outside those standardizable or quantifiable measures, okay, we increase the birth rate by this percentage, or we allocate this amount of money annually to like Japan or to Korea, to like local regions. Aside from those standardizable features, we really see a growing importance of incorporating more individualized voices, and also people whose voices just got like eliminated or like silenced by the standardization like discourses. So that was like both like a shocking point and also our like major discovery throughout the journey.
And Woojin?
The major discovery that I made was, as Xian mentioned, there's quite cultural common in both South Korea and Japan, but I was focusing on the cultural difference because we are really close country, but I can find there's cultural difference. So due to this cultural difference, we are thinking about the same thing, but we can have another kind of things about the same thing. So it was really shocking for me to, we are living in the same earth, but we are living in the same, different philosophy. So it was my major discovery that I mentioned. And difficult was like, this aging society and low birth rate is quite multi-linked problems regarding society or the science as well. But I was curious, how can I solve this? It's so multi-linked, so it's so hard for me to solve this problem by quantitative research. So I think building some kinds of fundamental philosophy is really needed to solve this problem.
I see.
President, what did you make of all these students' comments?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
What do you think about
yes,
that?
I mean, so it's so. I mean, not really, not interesting, but it's. I mean, good to hear that. So you feel like kind of importance of this communication, and also like to feel this also difference in between. So we are very close, but also somewhat there's some differences, and differences are also existing in kind of person to person, right? Yes. So that it was also so and then this birth rate, low birth rate issue is somewhat very much related to kind of personal, I mean, thought to this thought of each of the or each of the life of each person, right? So that this very, I mean, personal things, and then you will need to find a way to at least improve this situation, right? So that was must be, I mean, so tough to come up with a kind of right, I mean, solution, to be, I mean, to be wrapped up as you will be able to present in the to the audience. So, but my thoughts on also another thought on design is it's also so important for us to present something in the audience, in the public, to the public, and then so for that you really need to work hard to set up your own presentation. But with this presentation, you can also start another dialogue or another discussion. So otherwise, you basically kind of you can think of many things in your, in your personal area, but once you present something in the public, then you could talk to the people, right? Exchange many opinions. So then, may I ask another question?
Of course.
So I really would like to know. So after this presentation, so what would you expect, or what would be your outlook as a next step of your project?
Okay, this time, starting from Wujin.
Oh, that was tough questions.
Or your ambition will be fine. So
I want to broaden my insight, not only in the engineering that I'm doing. By doing this presentation, I can heard about another major student's thought, and I can thought, oh, that students can think like that, and this will be the real method to make our future more better. And I think designing is kind of the method that we can make our things to the reality. So yeah.
Yes. So I think you want to go beyond your field of engineering and communicate with students from other fields, and try to incorporate design approach in your future activities or approach to addressing certain challenges or problems in the future. Yes. I think that sounds. Everybody has been talking about the importance of interdisciplinarity, and I think we all acknowledge the importance of interdisciplinarity, but try to do it might be a challenge. So to me, like someone who is teaching in university, incorporating multiple disciplinary in my classroom is a challenge, and sometimes it's a trade-off between depth and width. So I'm very curious, if I may, President FUJII, how can we balance this depth and width?
I see. I think it's also it is not really a kind of a trade-off in between. So that because you have for example, problem, or you have a curiosity or interest that you want to do something, but then for that interest or that issue requires some sort of depth of knowledge. So it's not
trade-off, but it's additive.
Right. Sort of, it's a kind of summation. For designing something, you will need to put together so many different types of knowledge from different areas of expertise. So that is depending on the kind of what you want to solve or what you want to make. So.
Thank you. And Shin, would you like to address President's question?
Yeah, thank you so much for the follow-up question. Just regarding our program specifically, we already received some feedback remarks about how we can probably, as the next step, ground our current project, our prototype, on more specific, feasibility testing to gather.
Which one?
We're a group, the first group that presented. We're like a participatory curriculum design.
Okay,
yeah. So the first thing is to test the feasibility of whether people really feel like they're needing that. Again, we don't just create anything more. We want to know what's really needed and help them reach the resources. I guess this bridging stage is really important. So we want to reach out to more people to gather those feedback. That's the first step. And second, since it's like a curriculum design, and we want to make it compulsory, it definitely entails public sector and private sector kind of collaborations, and also probably a lot of negotiation. So that part, we still really don't have a clear image of what we can do with that, but we will just keep pushing forward. And besides this specific project, I kind of feel like my personal horizon is really broadened by the amount of and also the type of solutions that is beyond just like an academic paper or just like a solution proposal. I was really inspired by my peers, and I think because my personal research major is also medical anthropology related to like gender issues, so I really want to incorporate what I learned from this session from my colleagues and to implement in my future studies as well.
I see. Yeah, it's. I mean, it is very nice to have this practical part and also research part of your own. I mean, as your own project on both sides. Right?
Okay, and Siyeon.
I believe that in order to solve the problem nationally, we have to gain public attention. So, as I mentioned before, I'm now working as a student representative at the Youth Future Generation Advisory. And I made a blog for that. After the committee, I wrote what we learned and what we talked about in a whole long blog. I want to make sure that everyone knows about this problem in real specific. Since I'm a supporter of this Korean Foundation for Advanced Studies, I am making lots of blogs and also car news and videos. I want to make sure to tell everyone about the birth rate and how the causes and the problems are getting out and the solutions we think can make our future much more better. So that's my plan.
I see. So you want to basically kind of publicize, the things that you learned more into your community.
Yes.
I see.
Thank you, Siyeon.
Thank you.
And Satomi?
Yes. My provision for future is really like specific to my team project, because like I'm in team 3, and our plan is about the childcare share house, and like which like is we propose like building a joint the large companies, like leading companies of 2 countries, like set up a joint venture and to like build a childcare share house for the employees of their employees. So actually we plan to like ask the companies for an interview, but we ran out of the time. So like. But I wish like we actually like could work on the project, because like the Tokyo Forum is a really like big event. Like we students have a great impact on the society. So like yes, so I am just like waiting for, or like I'm gonna like actively networking with the companies and to make this brand come true.
Wow. Okay, it's really nice to know about it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think we have time for one more question from the president. If not, we can also ask student. Either way, president.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you have
Sure.
some
Yes.
other questions.
Any question from the student? Anyone would like to take a chance? Okay, Shin.
Yep.
I have a follow-up question from like Satomi's second question. So you were mentioning about the changing mindset of different generations of students, and also maybe contributing factors behind that. And yeah, I kind of feel no matter in which country, right now the younger generation, they perceive that they are living under more types of like risks and uncertainties, which actually lead to a lot of complication in their like decision-making process, including like birth rate, like birth wish, and all that. So I wonder, what could be a way out, or what could be a starting point to start, sorting out this puzzle of like risks of perceived, uncertainty among the younger generation.
Many risks around us. I mean, yeah. So yes, that is my. In fact, when I took the office 3.5 years ago, so we think about the role of university in such situation. And so we really need the kind of... so the university is the place where we create knowledge and foster new talents. And so where basically we will need to share all this knowledge created in the university, and then also come up with the new knowledge together with you, students, and also researchers. And by sharing such kind of knowledge in between the students and also with the society, as you mentioned already, so that there's so many different risks and different issues outside the university. And then universities, so there's a kind of social demand to the university to show some milestones or clues to solve those problems. So, but university can only, it can be done only by the academia, but also together with the outside university, like public sectors and private sectors and so on. So we basically work together to solve such kind of issues. So that is a really important role of the university. So to do that, we have a so-called UTokyo Compass, which is a basic guideline of the University of Tokyo, but where diversity, equity, inclusion is one of the main pillars, but also we basically embrace dialogue. So dialogue is to know something unknown together by having those exchanges of the knowledge and experiences. So that those kind of, attitude and also practice is so important for the academia to provide the world with a sort of solution or clues to the solution to such kind of complex issues. So that is what we need to, work on as academia.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I think dialogues can solve many problems that students also encountered, such as cross-cultural communication and also misunderstanding between academia and public, and also misunderstanding between different academic disciplines. So dialogue should be the key, as President FUJII said. All right, I think we are getting to the close of this session, and if there is no more burning question from the student side to President, no? Okay, no? All right. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much, President, and Woojin, and Shin, and Siyeon, and Satomi for such a forward-looking and future-looking dialogue. And actually, so this is one of the example of good dialogue, and I think this session has showcased the aspiration of this Tokyo Forum, and also aspiration of President FUJII to promote dialogue, and also highlighted the essentiality of promoting diversity and inclusion. And promoting inclusion also means to promote intergenerational dialogues, and including the youth like Woojin and Shin and Siyeon and Satomi. So thank you very much, and President, and thank you students. And so with this, ladies and gentlemen, please give these panelists a big round of applause. Thank you very much.